Probably you may have noticed we've been talking about our conference mission, vision, and core values in our videos. Our mission, as you know, is exalting Christ by serving others. That's what we aim to do here in the Southern California Conference. In our churches, in our schools, and all of our individual members, we're working together toward the same mission. But in 2024, in our videos, we want to start a new series. We want to start something new. Now, we know that your stories are impactful and inspiring, and we want to share them. So, for you as an individual, not your church or your ministry, but you as an individual, these are the stories that we want. We want to know, how have you been living out your faith in your day-to-day life? Or another way of saying that is, how have you found it meaningful in your life that you're a Christian, right? How has your faith made a difference in your life? Maybe it's at work, maybe it's in the community around you, or maybe it's in your home life. Whatever the case may be, we want to know how your faith has made a difference for you personally. These are the stories that we want to share.
That sounds great. So say I'm a church member, and I have a story that I want to tell. What would that process look like?
That's a great question. Now, when it comes to sharing your story, of course, they'll be in video format like we talked about, and we'll come to you with a couple of questions, and we'll ask you those questions in an interview format. We'll kind of guide you through sharing your story on camera in that way.
Okay. So it's an interview. Are you going to let me know the questions in advance?
Yeah, definitely. So of course, you're the one who knows your story the best, right? But we have a few questions, like I said, just to kind of guide you in sharing it. So it's not really anything you need to study too much or anything like that. But you can look over and see how you'll phrase your answers and that type of thing.
Awesome. Where will the interview be recorded? Do I have to go somewhere, or what does that look like?
Great question. So everyone's story is different, but we're thinking there's options when it comes to what's most relevant to your story, right? So maybe your story is really relevant to your workplace, or maybe it's relevant to your home, maybe somewhere in your community. We can go to any of those places. So we can come to that place with our camera equipment, come ready to do the interview, and we can film on the spot in that location and coordinate that with you. Or if that's not an option, no stress. We can also film here in our SCC studio where we are right now. So you can come here to Glendale and we can film together here as well.
The studio is a good option, but I kind of like the workplace. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's good to know. How long would it take to record?
Good question. So it would take at most a couple of hours, and we would film the interview and some other footage related to the story, and then we'll edit it down at the end, but it wouldn't be much more of a time commitment than that.
And once it's all edited down, how long do you think the video would actually be?
Good question. The final video actually would only be maybe around 5 minutes or so. So we'll take all that footage, we'll frame it together and edit it in such a way that it can be told in the way that will really glorify God and inspire others the best.
Wow, so a couple hours of footage and then just a 5-minute video? That's awesome. Where would this video be shared though?
So we have a multitude of SCC social media accounts that we work with. You'll see them on your screen right now. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, some of those ones that you can think of, we'll share the videos there.
Wow, so it's really gonna go far.
Yeah.
So that being said, why would people want to hear my story?
Yeah, this is a great question. Sometimes we feel like maybe we don't have the same story as this other person over here whose story is so flashy and exciting and interesting with so many different turns, but maybe our story might be more simple than that. But keep in mind that you never know who will be inspired by your story, right? You never know why God gave you the story he did, why he worked in your life the way he did. And so it's really important to share even what we think might be a little thing that God did in our life, because you never know who God placed in your life or who he placed behind the computer or phone or whatever the case may be on the other side on the internet to be able to see your story. Maybe it's just what they need in this moment. Maybe they need to see, oh, maybe God can work in my life too in that way. Maybe that's just what they need. So God really works in those ways. He gives us these stories to inspire us and lift us up for sure. But he does that for those around us too, and we never know who that might be. So we want to share those stories so God can use them.
Wow. I like that. I never really thought about how my story can really matter to other people. I think I'm interested in sharing. And so if that's the case, how exactly do I go about that?
Good question. So when it comes to sharing your story, we try to make it as easy as possible. So you can just send us a quick email about what your story is, what it's about, and the fact that you're interested. And if we have any further questions after that, we'll ask you. But we can coordinate from there. So it's as easy as sending us an email.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. So as we stated, we're looking forward to hearing your stories. We know that God has worked in your specific story, in your life for a specific way, and you never know who out there needs to hear what God has done in your life. This is a way of being part of spreading the gospel to the whole world, simply sharing what God has done for you, through you, in your own life. We're looking forward to hearing it, and we thank you in advance for your courage in coming forward with your stories. Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing from you, and God bless.